Welcome in to this week's episode of Untold Stories, a weekly D&D campaign set in the world of Elvoria. We're back with these wonderful humans, back all together again, to roll some dice, attempt some questionable accents, and hopefully tell a decent story. Don't really have any special announcements this week. What's My Motivation Kickstarter ended a few days ago. So just to remind everyone that the Reimagined Classes are being used by people in the group, and if you want to pick them up, you can pick them up on the DM's Guild, which I think still has a sale on at the point this video goes out, so you can get them really cheap. And as always, all of our NPC art is provided by Aderyn Angelini's Art Venturing Guild. The character art is produced by @LiveDoodles, and Chibi battle map art, if used, is made by WeTheDreamingDesigns. So definitely check them out if you can, and continue to support real artists. With that out the way, let's get on with telling our story. Last time out, you had been spooked by some castigators passing you on the road heading into Narray, and so you decided to travel with haste northwards en route to Girdothras. The wait of the last few days between the Isra Wood, Narray itself, and those castigators kept jovial conversation to a minimum, although there is a new tradition of a draconic breakfast, which did ease some tension as you tried to teach Aderyn basic nouns in the official language of the Empire. Meanwhile, during the evenings, Ximori learnt a little bit about themselves and what currently resides within them, including a interesting conversation in the dark. 2 days of travel eventually landed you at the crossroads, joining the Merchant Way yet again, and you decided to camp there, where you met many other travellers, seemingly fleeing the fires going on in the Brecklian fields, moving their lives and livelihood eastward to Girdothras in the hope to escape them. You were also then interrupted at your own campfire by Amhrain, the charming, talented performer you first met in Kalketh, who teased what was really going on, shall we say, before disappearing in a crack of fire and embers. And we pick up with you all huddled around the campfire, spots across your vision from the shower of sparks that was left behind by Amhrain. A moment of silence hangs in the air as you all slightly process what Amhrain alluded to and the scope of their influence. A small chatter of conversation catches on the breeze from the nearby families, also at the campsite, and as the clouds roll overhead, occasionally providing a clear glimpse at the starlit sky and the fast waning moon. Can I ask everyone except Ximori to roll a d20 for me, please?
Oh, my dice. That's what I'm missing. I haven't got my dice out.
We're professional D&D players.
Where's my paycheck then?
You're a professional DM. We haven't been paid yet.
We get paid in fun!
We're not even
We get paid in
right
experience.
You get paid in exposure.
See, if you say D&D is fun, D&D rewards you.
We reward you with a crippling dice addiction.
D&D is rubbish. I got a 19.
D&D responds marginally better to praise than it does to degradation.
Lesley?
13.
13, thank you. Tauri?
13.
13 as well. Togrim?
8.
8. Steadily getting lower as we went through the group. Nice to know.
D&D praise king confirmed.
You will continue to kind of sit there as Ximori comes from wherever they'd been out of the darkness to come sit down at the campfire with you, and you have some things to discuss.
Look, I'm sorry that I'm dragging you guys even further along. I said it'd be over by the time we left now, but Girdothras it is for all of us.
You're not dragging us. We agreed to come with you.
I'm just miffed that it's not sorted out yet.
Yeah, I think Zidorthra sounds kind of fun. Might have some cool things going on.
I'm sure we'll find something to do there.
I get to learn along the way as well, so.
Just all be careful though. There's lots of us that have his eyes out for us and stuff. Ximori, how are you doing?
I've had some time to think, and yeah, I think I'm okay. It's all probably fine.
I'll trust your judgment. I know you've been thinking a lot past here, so yeah.
Was
When you
that
say
Amhrain?
Sorry?
Was that Amhrain? Again? What are they doing over here?
It's a good question.
Well, apparently, they like to start fires.
So they've been doing all this, all these people, all their homes and everything. And you all just sat there?
Well, it
No.
certainly seems like Amhrain is the, well, maybe not necessarily the person doing it, but is definitely linked in some way.
Not like they're easy to keep down. They're just vanished out from under us. We can't exactly grab them.
Did they say why they were doing it? Anything?
Kind of. They want to reclaim this land. They said that the humans had sort of destroyed the area.
They were very vague, though.
It wasn't so clear.
Hmm.
The ambiguity was kind of sexy, though.
Lesley, don't you go playing around with Fae. That's, even for you, that's too far.
Well, we did quite well last time we saw the Fae, I think.
You almost crushed by a tree.
I wasn't crushed by a tree.
Oh no, you nearly broke your back on Togrim's metal wolf after a tree threw you. That's what happened there.
I actually think I came out quite okay from that. I don't think I was even thrown against a wolf.
I'm pretty sure you were thrown against a wolf. I was a squirrel at the time, but I'm fairly sure you were thrown against a wolf. I have a distinct squirrel memory for these sort of things.
That's fair. Maybe I got concussion.
But then it also might have been acorns. It's difficult to tell when you're a squirrel.
Well,
Togrim, as this conversation's going on, you can hear like a faint just melody played on strings, maybe a violin, just ticking around your head. It's like an earworm.
In my head, rather than...
Yeah, I mean, roll perception, but it's one of those like mental things where it's just kind of looping in your head. So
5 perception?
yeah, it's just looping in your head.
Just...
no, it's the EastEnders theme tune.
On the violin.
Weird. Do I know where this theme or whatever it is playing would be from? Like, is it something I recognize, or is it just like random noise violin?
Roll me a history check.
History +4. Ooh, dirty 20.
Oh. It sounds familiar. You can't quite place where from. but just due to its familiarity, you assume at least some kind of Imperial folklore, legend, bardic concept. Some kind of like words pick into it. You just remember lines like builders build their buildings tall, and from ashes left upon the road, that kind of fits the melody, but you're missing lines still. It's like you've heard this somewhere, but you can't quite remember the full thing.
That's honestly just sounds like my normal recollection of most songs in real life, to be honest. It's like I get that one or two line that gets stuck in my head, and then I can't remember any of the rest of it.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Just in your head, you hit those ones hard, and then you're just like,
Yeah. Coming along.
I believe in a thing called love.
Make it now.
Anyway, is there anything else anyone wants to do this evening?
I think as we're all just like sort of settling down around the fire, I'm just gonna sort of look over towards Lesley. I'm just sort of thinking, what the hell is Titan Ball anyway?
Does Ximori ask this out loud?
No, but you hear it.
What the... Wait, does Lesley... Oh, wait, okay. What time of night is it? Out of interest.
It's full dark. Campfire is the
dark.
only light.
Lesley and Aderyn have, I believe, been hitting the booze for a bit. I think it's a fair assumption. Maybe Ximori as well. Togrim? Yeah. Everybody's been hitting the booze.
Balrick has been looking across from the campfire going...
No, Balrick hasn't.
Disapproving dad.
Balrick's still doing some maths on how much wine, like, Lesley can carry. And how much more useful the space could be, like, utilised. Lesley is going to be still kind of freaked out, I think. It's, like, really in his ear, right? Like, in his head.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck? And Leslie's going to ask Aderyn, have you been practicing your Ximori impression?
Can't say I have. Do you want me to impersonate them? I can try.
Can you do that?
Yeah, okay. What do you want me to say?
I understand.
Ask me about Titan Ball.
Okay. My Titan Ball!
No, absolutely not. Ximori, is that you?
What? I'd say this out loud. What?
I could have sworn you asked me about Titan Ball.
No, I was thinking about Titan Ball. What is it?
Well, it's only the greatest sport known to mankind, to person kind. Sorry, gang. But no, we can get into that. We have many days for me to talk to you about the minutiae of this magnificent game. But you said that in my head. No? Am I going crazy? I feel like I'm being gaslit.
I don't know if I'd say going.
Can you talk in people's heads too, Ximori?
I don't think so. Can you hear this? I say, thinking at Aderyn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, do it again.
Okay, so how does this sound? There's a second voice behind Ximori's voice.
Lesley, you are definitely not crazy. I heard that.
Yeah, because you're such a good, reliable perspective.
Listen, I can tell when it's the voices inside my head and it's other voices inside my head. There's a difference.
Are you sure you weren't just listening to me? Because I mean, you do that anyway, don't you?
No, but that came from you. You didn't say it out loud.
But
You're
like, Lesley in your head all the time. Why aren't you just talking to me and you can like hear people's thoughts, right? Like hear their brains or whatever.
Not really. I mean, maybe I can, but I haven't tried that yet. But no, I can only hear when they're talking back.
Weird.
You didn't do it on purpose?
No. I didn't know that's a thing I can do.
Is this inside their head? Sorry, I have to double check.
It's sort of going in and out for Ximori because he's not quite figured this out yet.
I want to also add on to this to Aderyn and Lesley. Anytime the line has been in your head, it sounds like two voices overlapping. There is a more bestial, deeper tone backing up Ximori's voice.
That's more bestial. Bestie.
It's my bestie.
Sounds good.
Maybe it's got something to do with your tail and your claws, like, because you've been transforming quite a lot recently.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that absolute bastard.
Who's the bastard? I mean, there's lots of bastards in the world. You're gonna have to be very specific. I'm pretty sure Lesley.
No, just I can do that now and I don't like that.
Get in your head, Aderyn.
No, as in, were your parents married?
I come from a great family.
Oh, in that case, you're not a bastard. I just assumed you were the fruit of an affair. Didn't have that vibe about you, you know?
We are having a talk about this later, Aderyn. That's a very rude thing to say about a man of my standing. But
What's a bastard? What's a bastard?
It's a baby that's born before the parents are married.
Oh, Goliath culture don't really have that as much. I don't think my parents were married. It's quite new to me.
Third.
I guess I'm probably a bastard. Like, I don't remember all that well. Probably am.
It's okay, I'm a bastard too.
Guess we're just a group of bastards.
Wait. No, wait. Who here's
Lesley
actually a
and the
bastard?
Lesley and the bastards.
Togrim, your parents married?
I'm going to go with I'm still deciding as a player. But
Would you
I
like
was actually just about to Google like gnome lore.
I'm deciding now that Goliath.
She's not a
I don't know if
bastard.
you've got any Goliath stuff, Gethin, but I'm deciding now Goliaths have shared parentage with the tribe.
That's cute.
It's not as cute because they throw out the runts and Balrick was a runt.
You know what?
Wanted bastard.
Fuck the nuclear family. Throw out your tiny kids.
Ximori's parents were just poor, so not going to go through all that wedding nonsense.
I think Balrick only
Can't afford
found
all
out what
that.
marriage was when he got married. At the altar, like, what is this?
Balrick was definitely proposed.
Why am I wearing a ring now?
Balrick's wife just like, right, we're getting married, and Balrick was like, what's that?
Whatever you want, dear.
What?
It's like, it's a big party. Oh, okay, then yeah, sure.
You wear this ring now? Okay.
Balrick's adult life is just a bunch of, sure, dear. Anything
We're gonna
else?
have like 5 group names. I feel like that's what we need for group names. We need a list of 5 that we cycle through.
Okay.
I
I
quite
do
like
have
Leslie.
a long list of group names that we've rejected all of them. I
Quite
still
like-
like Slutty Squad.
Quite like Lesley and the Bastards, to be honest.
Leslie and the Bastards is my favourite so far. And oh, we don't have the Firebugs. Oh.
I quite like Firebugs.
Firebugs is awesome. I don't know if we want to go to the law and say we're the Firebugs.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Informally.
It's not gonna be fire and like fire. It could be
But going as Lesley and the Bastards, perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, no.
No, I think Lesley and
What's the matter,
Tauri and the
Tauri? Are you not a bastard, Tauri?
Absolutely not.
Is that it?
She's the daughter of the merchant.
Considering the fact that I am a woman, I think it's quite difficult for me to be a bastard.
Well, what
I
was
think
the,
anyone
If
can be
your
a bastard.
parents are married. I'm not a man, but still.
what's the girl version then?
Bastet.
Bastet. I'm Bastet.
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 Sounds like
Lesley
Castanet.
and the bastards and bastardettes. I like it.
Lesley and the Basties.
Lesley and the Busty.
Lesley and the Basties, yes.
Wait, Lesley and the rat bastards.
Bastards. That's appropriate.
It's the
Anyway.
rat bastards.
And yes, sorry, we're getting really off track.
So sorry.
That's just
Ximori can talk in head. Good.
Have you ever done magic before? Like accidentally?
Nah,
You mean aside from growing a tail?
is that magic?
that's not magic. I'm just growing stuff.
Is this does the tail?
Or it does that.
Do you have other powers?
Claws, I guess. I can bite stuff pretty good.
Don't think that counts. But speaking in heads definitely seems magical.
Wolverine would disagree.
And seeing as you now have magic, Ximori, and
No.
Aderyn's gonna step up to them, ignore them, and is gonna flick him in the nose. That is for giving me a hard time for having powers. You have powers too.
I want you to remember the fact that if I flicked you, I'd probably break your nose.
Then you probably
As
should.
such, I will not flick you, but I am very tempted to.
She's already got a scar on her face. Leave her alone.
And her leg.
Night progresses, and you all eventually kind of head off to sleep. Relatively safe. You don't necessarily need a stern watch, although I'm sure someone stays up.
Eh.
Ximori stays up. Fair enough. Ximori, during the middle of the night, you begin to hear the sound of hoofbeats coming up the road from the south.
Shit. We're like part of like a. We're somewhat in like a sort of nest of tents, aren't we?
You're a little off to the side. Most of the other four families kind of camped around where the spring was. You were kind of the other side of things. So you're a little...
Okay. Do we have a fire going?
You did.
I'll put out the fire
Okay.
and I will wake up Balrick.
Everything all right? Ximori?
I heard hoofbeats on the road coming up. It might be nothing. It might be them.
I look around. Are there other campers still?
Yes. The other
Yeah.
campers are still there. Each
Oh,
with their own
maybe-
fires and a few kind of still, like, pottering about.
I think maybe if we don't make much of a scene and just trying to keep ourselves down, there's other people here. We might not stand out too much. I say we wake everyone up and try and just be ready. We're not going to outpace them, so I don't think there's any point in going ahead. But like, have everyone ready to fight essentially if needed. But see if we can talk our way out.
So I'll go slinking my way around people, trying to wake them up quietly.
As you're doing that, 4 horses pull up into camp before stopping and tying at the various posts in the fence. And you see in the darkness, these 4 figures that Togrim had described to you a couple of nights previously. In hardened leathers for some, bits of armor for others. the figure at the kind of clearly in charge, the most imposing, in this kind of ribbed black and red armor, a long ponytail with shorn sides. He's beginning to direct the other ones. You just hear shouts of, "Check the carts! We must find them if they're here." And they just begin unceremoniously waking up the other campers and going through their wagons, just opening up maps and digging through.
I'm going to strap my stuff to Derek and kind of tell him to rush off into the brush. And I'm going to go to Togrim and go, "Get Pebble out. Get Pebble hidden."
Tell Pebble to follow Derek into the brush.
Just rely on the dark to keep them hidden.
Sure. They scamper off, kind of...
So we shouldn't have any contraband at this point.
Yeah.
Tauri, be prepared to talk if needed.
I'll do my best.
The rest of us just be
Quiet.
alert but quiet.
Balrick, can you... I'll say Balrick and Ximori, who are paying the most attention, can you both roll me perception checks, please?
Nat 20 for 22.
Good, because I rolled a 2 for, I think, 10. Probably less.
22.
Oh, 11.
In this
I'm busy directing.
harder contrast, sharpened dark vision that you have, Ximori, you are able... You are tracking that individual castigator, watching their every move. You see them go into a pouch partway through and pull out a small glass vial of some kind, and you see them just put a drop into each eye momentarily, and they just begin scanning the camp, looking around. You see like a growing frustration appear on their face.
Just gonna like quietly like take out an axe, because as far as I'm concerned, or at least I'm trying to play it off, that like these people have sort of come up just like bandits in the night.
I'm going to put a hand on Ximori's shoulder and just kind of... don't attack first.
Are you continuing to stay at your wagon and campsite?
I think we don't want to make a scene. We just want to stay... If we have everyone half awake huddled around the cart, the like burning embers.
Ximori, you hear the castigator like grabs one of the other farmers, slightly older man, going, "You seem in charge here. Did you see some figures, shady, wealthy, colourful attire and overly ambitious, pass through here?" You see this person is just shaken, essentially just grabbed by the scruff, staring down. Essentially, someone who could kill them without cause. Just like begins stammering. Yeah, there was another cart here. I'm
going to reach out to his mind, and in a voice that he hasn't heard yet because he hasn't spoken to me, like whisper, "They left at dawn." Or they left at dawn. Like
dusk. No.
Yeah.
Do intimidation or persuasion, your choice.
I will go with intimidation.
Sure.
Left at dawn. That's 20 hours ago.
That is a 18.
You see the man just kind of freeze for a second, completely unsure what's going on, and just like glances around, and you see them like momentarily glance towards where your camp is, and just like, they must have left shortly after dusk. We've all been asleep. We don't know. And just the castigator just like throws him back to the ground. The man like stumbles down to one knee before like trying to pick himself back up out of the dirt. Castigator turns around to his others and just goes, "Finish searching the carts in case they have anything. We must move on if they're not here." Again, rifling through, and one of them does like has been taking a look around. This shorn-haired elf with a crossbow like on a sling, across their back, just like looking around. Clearly, like knows how to track in their demeanor and like how close they are to the ground. And there's a bit of interest in the direction of where that old man looked. Can you two roll me insight checks? Balrick at disadvantage due to your perception roll.
Insights of wisdom, so that's an 18.
I got an 18 and a 17 for dirty 20, I think.
Was it 17 from you, Ximori?
18.
18, sorry. Both of you kind of pick up that there is a hint of confusion of this old man looked in this direction and they don't seem to be noticing anything in your direction. They are basically staring directly at you but seem to have no perception that you're there.
Alright. Don't act. No one say anything. Amhrain said they left as a gift. Or a help. Yes?
Thank fuck, I thought this was me again somehow.
No. I think our guests might have saved us a little bit. Everyone rest. Wait till they pass by.
You see this elf close to the ground following something. Your best guess is when one of you went to collect water or Tauri went around giving donations, singing songs, footprints lead back in your direction. This elf seems to be following them and stepping towards you and getting closer. They're maybe about 30 feet from you at this point as they're seemingly following something. You'll patiently hold your breath when shuffling back. Hey! Get on your horse, we're leaving. They're not here. The elf just kind of peers and then turns around. You see this crossbow. They're fairly close to you now with your dark vision, especially Ximori. That crossbow on the back is kitted out, shall we say. It is chunky and has a rotating drum at its central portion. And they just... a bemused look on their face, because the trail seems to just end cold. And they turn around, mount up on their horses. And I would like Balrick to choose heads or tails.
Tails.
They mount up on their horses and begin cantering off into the night, westward, towards the Brecklian fields.
Nice.
I don't think they're going to be coming back for a while. So, everyone... Yes,
eventually.
That's why we need to get to Zirdothras before they get a chance. They'll be all the way to Alkirth before they head back. Hopefully.
What do they want with us?
What do you think?
Find magic users and kill them.
We haven't done anything wrong. We haven't hurt anyone.
We have magic that doesn't come from the Jade Dragoness.
And what you are forgetting.
That's enough.
What you are probably forgetting is the original fire.
The fire in Conqueror itself.
Doesn't matter if we hadn't technically hurt anyone. The mayor wasn't happy with us. He probably got away with words.
If they think that we set that fire, or had a hand in it, and they will hunt us.
We can know that it wasn't us, though. We just have to prove it.
That's not how castigators work.
You cannot prove something like that. How do we prove we did not set the fire? I had no involvement.
I'm sure Amhrain's just willing to turn himself in. Start to get the idea.
Leslie's he's already put his eye mask back on to go back to sleep. He's gonna lift it. I think Amhrain might find it quite funny to admit that he'd done it and then bugger off again. And Leslie's just gonna roll back on his side, back to sleep.
Completely unperturbed.
Mm.
Leslie's not magic. What does it matter to him? Lesley is the only non-magical person in this group currently.
Not what the ladies say.
I'm not going to leave this empire until I find the answers I want.
So we've just got to stay ahead of the castigators.
Or they lose our trail. Did we didn't all hear them say they were looking for colourful individuals, did we?
Ximori would have heard that. That they were essentially asking for people.
It didn't sound like they had a description of us, but they were looking for people who looked outside.
To be clear, above table, where my acting skills lack, they did seem to have a pretty solid description of Aderyn and Tauri. Well
colourful
dressed
people
in colourful clothing.
Too ambitious.
Exactly. But you all settle down for the evening. Dawn wakes you too early, not early enough for some of you. And you begin to cut up, and you can see that the other people here seem bemused by the fact that your cart is there still. But they're now cautious to approach you and don't want anything to do with you. Ximori, however, Ximori and Aderyn, in kind of early morning, uncontrolled telepathy, you do pick up fragments of conversations or thoughts from other people happening over there, seemingly discussing the events or some events happening in the Brecklian fields. Ximori, you over here. Someone thinking about I've heard that it's some kind of anti-war group known as the Firebugs trying to sabotage the crusade. Although I'd expect an organised rebel group to have a little more thought about where the fires are taking place. They just seem to be pottering along. Aderyn, you hear someone talking about. You hear about those two bards in Furhaven? They danced until they passed out, competing for that barmaid's heart. Someone else just replies, "That's probably just the wine talking until they completely passed out from being drunk. I wouldn't think too much about it." And just get snippets of these kind of odd conversations about ongoings in the Brecklian fields that just weird events.
Note to self, not the firebugs.
Anything anyone wants to do in the morning?
How do you deal with it, Aderyn?
With what?
The hearing voices that aren't just yours in your head.
I guess I'm just used to it. Sometimes it's worse than other times, but I find that it helps if you try to focus on something sort of like creating an image in your head, and you just look at that, and then the voices sort of are crushed under it a little bit, and then if they try to crawl over the image, you just kind of have to flick them away, and if they're still overwhelming the image, then you have to get another image in your head, and you have to press it on top until you have a domino effect of like a tower of images in your head, and then you have to just keep squishing them. Does that help?
Yeah, that's probably fine. With my wisdom of 10, I foresee no red flags there. And I start building an image in my head of the Tabitha that I've previously had described to me, of that sort of hideous monster with the face of a doll.
I was waiting for one of you to mention Tabitha.
It's starting out as the little doll form of Tabitha in my head.
It's going to eventually become like the gingerbread man in Shrek 2.
Or the gingerbread giant.
Yes. You, I assume, pack up fairly quickly.
Yeah. Can I actually disassemble Pebble as part of the end of my long rest?
If you wish.
Because Togrim has been spooked by the castigators coming along and kind of feels like Pebble is, to them at least, very clearly magical.
Okay. Pebble is put back.
Pebble is going to be disassembled and going back in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
For the moment.
Pilgrim's trying to find out which of those sort of polystyrene inserts the various bits fit into. They never quite fit as well as the first time you took them out.
Tauri, you kind of noticed Togrim taking apart Pebble during this, and they're just kind of whistling a song, like a repetitive melody while they do it. Still stuck in your head.
Does it sound familiar at all?
Roll me a history check if you want.
The box isn't quite the same like size when you close it after you've got it out again, because you can't pack it as well as the factory did.
21.
21. Again, there's an element to it that sounds familiar, but you can't place where from. And like you're fairly well versed in like songs of the Empire and that kind of thing, where you would be fairly confident of being able to place a song. This, with a 21 and your innate kind of musical talent, it sounds familiar because it uses cultural touchstones. Yeah, like keys and the like. But the exact kind of flow of the notes feels new or unique.
Right. Yeah.
This D&D stream not sponsored by Five Guys.
Anyway, you pack up and begin on your way. Who wants to roll? Oh, sorry, Tara?
I was just going to say, if Ximori told us what the castigator said, then Tauri would probably now wear the leathers and stuff that she got when they went into the swamp.
Okay.
Rather than her usual outfit.
Do you mind reminding me what they were roughly like, other than just leathers?
They were just proper travelling clothes, hard wearing, you know, plain, simple stuff that would get muddy that you wouldn't really care about, rather than
like a denim shirt and
basically
relatively high, thick boots kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, Howie. Maybe we should all dress down a bit. Aderyn?
If Ximori mentioned something, if he didn't,
I have, yeah.
Well, that she would have done.
What do you mean dress down?
They're looking for extravagant individuals.
I'm looking for a very well-dressed person. So if you dress more like,
we're not well dressed. We're immaculately dressed.
That's
immaculately dressed person.
Yeah.
So if you were to dress like, say, Balrick, or I'm trying to think of other people we've met that aren't me.
Well, just what Tauri's wearing now, you could go with.
If you think this isn't functional, you should see my father's stage outfits.
Okay, put it this way. They have a description of us. If us two stand next to each other, who do you think they'll assume is the one they're looking for? The person who is dressed in a fancy purple robe, or the one who looks like they've just come out of a swamp?
Okay. I can dress ugly.
I've got some spare clothes if you need them.
What do they look like?
Extremely baggy.
Well, it's the stuff I was wearing in the swamp. It's the eel dungarees and the tunic.
Actually, maybe I can make it work. You know, it'll be like chic in like a swamp way. You know, like yeah. I can make it work. Yeah. Okay. I'll just.
There is a hole in them just above. There is a hole in them, like just above the butt, sort of low back, where my tail did burst through at one point.
It's so Lesley can show their tramp stamp.
He's not wearing dungarees. No!
I like how the tramp stamp's not the problem, though.
The tramp stamp is most definitely there. It's right above Leslie's Bombali.
What is Leslie's tramp stamp?
It's a dedication to the Bombalis.
Oh, nice. Is that what you
Just all their faces.
It's his lyrics.
It's lyrics and the face of Aderyn's dad just above your ass.
Yep.
What a bonding moment that was. And that long trek through the valley. Okay, having dressed down, some of you, you head out on the road eastward, the opposite direction to where the castigators went, towards Ximori. You've got about 4 days travel to Ximori. Togrim, by your best estimation, it would be mid-morning, late morning on the 4th day that you would arrive. So 3 and a bit days of travel at this point. So, can we have some D10 rolls, please? Who wants to go for the next day?
Lesley.
If anyone is tracking, is currently the 10th of the month, if anyone wants to keep track.
Not letting Lesley drive 2 days in a row.
Date.
Oh, you're not.
Lesley don't get to drive 2 days in a row.
What do you mean? But I just rolled. I rolled. You can't.
You can roll him, it doesn't mean to drive him.
I want to drive. I look like a peasant now, so I feel like I should start doing peasant things to like get in the rubble.
Okay, those clothes do belong to me still, and are still one of the
they're
few things I
insanely
own.
baggy on Aderyn as well.
So just clear, they are
And
possessions and one of the 2 outfits I own.
also,
Yeah,
they are probably still smelling of swamp water.
Precious.
Oh, at me.
It smells lovely now. Don't worry.
Cool. Roll me a D10 then, Aderyn.
Oh, you managed to get all the crocodile blood off them.
What do I get?
Yeah.
You can put it back.
Oh, and all the troglodyte slime as well.
1.
That stuff gets in there.
Let's
What did you
talk
roll?
about a 1.
Oh,
Who
well.
knows?
Let's talk about peasant things.
Unfortunately, this is the problem you have when you get a rookie behind the reins. There is multiple points during the day that there has seemingly been heavy rain showers that have turned the road into thick, cloying mud that considerably slow your journey. By your estimation, you'll now be lucky to arrive by noon on the 4th day. Extra time added on. And there's a continual kind of threat of rain from heavy overcast clouds as well as you continue onwards.
This is the issue with rookies. They affect the weather.
Yeah. Well, it's your thought of a more expert driver maybe wouldn't have driven into the deepest part of the mud and got you stuck
Aderyn wanted to
on
see this.
multiple occasions.
May not have seen an entire puddle up to waist depth and thought, yeah, we can do this.
Only through the extreme efforts of Dave pulling you forward, and at times Derek helping out to get you out of ruts. And to be fair, your Goliath's insane strength and your Mad Elf's insane strength actually gets you through where others would probably be stuck for a considerable period of time. So you don't make as much travel distance as you would like, but at least the scenery's all right. To the south, the beautiful mountains. And to the north, you can make out the Bay of Dragonsong in the distance, the deep blue sea and the remainder of the Dragon Crest coast. Unless anyone has anything they wish to do for long rest during camp, we can move on to day 2.
Is that the ocean?
Togrim,
What?
you would know it's not.
Is that the ocean? Is that an ocean? Is that what they look?
No. Not yet.
Ah.
Have you never seen an ocean?
No.
What?
That's so sad.
That's
I've
not.
lived among like fields and mountains for most of my life.
It is
It's not-
definitely the biggest body of water you've ever seen, though, Ximori.
Yeah. Right, so oceans are bigger than that.
Ocean?
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
they have beautiful
Avoid.
void. They have beautiful glittering sunlight on the crest of the waves, and they are so salty. And
We
they're
have amazing
deep-
sandy beaches, which you just see all the people lying naked in the sun on. It's
It's
really
like-
quite.
The
It's
deep-
It's not that far down there, though, is it?
Beaches are creepy. It's.
I mean, like, I've been in like some pretty deep lakes. Is it that sort of like? Yeah, it's all like mostly still most of the time.
oh no.
No.
You can swim
No.
down and get to the bottom.
The ocean's fun because it makes you dizzy. It moves you back and forth and back and forth. So fun.
And your hair gets full of salt, and it looks really wavy and lovely.
Ah,
Fuller,
goes
maybe.
to the ocean at some point. Then that sounds weird.
We'll go back to Finland eventually, Marion. We'll show you the ocean.
I'll fit right in. I say, covered in mud from having to, from the waist up, from having to have hauled the cart out of the mud at some point several times.
But your day comes to a close, you eventually camp. Any minor things anyone wants to do at camp, or should we move on to day 2?
Lesley is just gonna start, like, throughout the day, listing off rules of Titan Ball, which I haven't written out with Gethin yet, but you're learning it. Unwillingly.
It
Make an
is-
intelligence check to
see.
see how much of it I retain.
Go on.
13!
13.
-1, 12!
It is the way that Lesley describes it, Ximori, it sounds like a lot of fun because it is the most violent sport you can imagine. It is pit fighting with a ball in the middle.
I imagine the ball just gets in the way of the pit fighting.
The ball
At
does get in
times.
the way of fighting.
The aim is to control the other person. Just a ball there. Distraction.
It
How
is
we
fundamentally a very simple game of get the ball over the line by either throwing it or running it. But within that, there's not that many rules. It's stop the opponents or not. You each start at end. There's like elements of dodgeball, American football, and cage fighting.
Yeah.
That's Titan Ball.
While
That sounds
while
amazing.
Leslie's been explaining this, Tauri's actually been writing notes.
To be clear,
Oh.
one of the important rules that Lesley does put down is that weapons are not allowed by the law.
Well, that's not a problem.
By the rules of the game, you are not allowed to bring weapons in. I don't know whether
If
Lesley
I
shares.
find a weapon there,
I don't know whether Lesley
have to
shares the
use
fact that that doesn't stop people still doing it.
I think Lesley is not going to share that fact right now.
Fair enough.
Because he is really
but
good.
if I
really
happen
good
to
at it.
find a weapon in the game, could I use that? If
Well,
there was something around that happened to be weapon shaped, say.
it's not strictly illegal. It's
Hey,
just
another
widely
person.
regarded as a dick move.
Leslie doesn't go into the shadier side of the Titan Ball leagues quite yet. But it sounds great fun for those of you who
Yeah.
love a bit of physical violence.
A bit of the old ultra violence.
You eventually camp for the night. The moon continuing to fade towards a new moon. And your evening is rather uneventful, except for Togrim continuing to whistle this song that is starting to get into some of your heads as well, the rest of you.
But he did a good job of it.
Relatively tuneful.
How does the tune go exactly?
Yeah, get them.
No. Stephen gets to choose.
Do you
However,
want me to remind
We
you?
need immersion.
I tell you what, yeah, that's a good point. Andrew, you did me a solid.
I wrote it.
What?
Let's see. I mean, I realized very quickly that it is basically just the same as like "Hush, Little Baby, Don't You Cry" with like a few notes changed around. But the conception of it was original.
I need to hear it.
Da 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 da.
Creepy.
Ernest.
Okay, no offense. It very much starts off as "Hush, Little Baby."
Yes, it absolutely does. I finished writing this out and was listening to it like, this reminds me of something. Fuck's sake, it's another lullaby. I'm just
That works. That's the point, isn't it? It's supposed to be.
This
It's
is the
new,
point. This is the point that I forgot to bring up at the top of the episode. Emma and Andrew have inspiration for recent birthdays. That just reminded me because I was about to give you inspiration again for doing that song, but at this point I don't know how many you have. So
I'm at 2 currently, so give me some.
You missed the proficiency bonus.
yeah, so
Bonus birthday don't count.
When we play the actual composition, then I might have used one by then.
yeah.
There's a spoiler alert for all of you. There's a R1 fan.
You have some food. You settle down for the night. You set watches. For the first time in a while, nothing eventful happens. And you wake up on the 11th and begin to set off. Who's rolling today?
Alright, Aderyn, you're not having another go.
Why?
You're not allowed. I mean,
Is it
We'll
Lesley
try-
back on the cart? No.
do you even have
Oh,
a wagon license? That's a joke. There's no wagon licenses.
Why?
Maybe there should.
This is Balrick's wagon license scheme.
Give me 60 gold and you can have a wagon license. Oh, wait, it's here.
I rolled a 5.
While this is ongoing, Togrim just takes the reins. 5. Cool. You're heading along, and you come. For the first time in a while, you come across a mileage sign. Essentially, it seems out of place is the wrong word, but you haven't seen many up to this point that it feels interestingly placed. That just kind of tells you how far you are from Ximori. Balrick and Togrim, with your passive investigations, though, as you're passing by, you're fairly certain that Earth is disturbed next to that thing.
As in it's been moved from somewhere else, or
No, kind of freshly dug up and then recovered.
So, Togrim, stop the cart a sec. You
Okay.
see that, don't you?
yeah, it looks weird. It looks like someone's tampered with it.
Hey. But it's just one road. There's no like forks in the road or anything right now, is there?
Nope.
No, so it's not like we can get lost.
Not major ones anyway. Every so often you come across roads that lead to something else, but nothing major.
Like a farm, yeah. No one's trying to get us lost. You wait there. I'll go have a little look. Solve all the
How are
stuff.
you as well?
Stop it.
Not with your passive investigation, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over and actively investigate it.
Cool.
Maybe get my machete out and prod. No, my staff. Do it with my staff.
Make me an investigation check.
19.
19. Yeah, the thing that drew your attention, it is designed to be not noticed by passers-by, and you would expect the standard travelling merchant wouldn't pay it much mind. You are just someone that keeps an eye out for things, and you can see, as I said, it's disturbed Earth here. You would estimate with that roll kind of dug up and placed back down in the last day or so. To be clear, along this road for the last couple of days, you have been passing merchant wagons the entire time. There are other people using this road, travelling at different speeds, going back and forth from Ximori. You are not alone on this road. It is a very busy road.
What is it, Balrick?
I don't know. It's been tampered with. Can I see in what way it's been tampered?
Your best guess is someone took a shovel to it, dug up the earth, and then put the earth back down. Your assumption would be someone buried something here.
Have we got, don't suppose we've got a shovel in the wagon somewhere, just by chance?
Do you want a shovel?
There's something
I'll
buried
just hop
here.
over and start digging with my hands.
Oh, but
Oh, Ximori. Oh my god, Ximori. Oh, fine.
It could be a pet.
can you just...
Just let us investigate. Like, it's worth... We'll bury it again if it is. Ximori, what you got?
You dig in, and what you find within is a small glass vial, about yay big, that appears heavily stoppered. That is a clear liquid that appears to have like some, like it's got salt and soot at the bottom of it, and it's weird. You would expect the salt to be dissolved. There's like just fine like grain white and black powder at the bottom. You also find a small kind of leather case about this long that is clasped up. It's kind of cylindrical.
Some salt and a leather case. Is this anything?
Hand them here. Allocate. There's no corpses here. Pick them up. So we've got to
That's
put a
too
little
small to
vial.
put a corpse in.
You've got a vial of clear liquid with some like what you guess is salt and soot in, and a leather case that you don't really have an idea what it would be for.
I mean, does it look like... You said cylindrical. Does it look like potentially scroll casing?
That's what it looks like, not that Balrick would know what a scroll case is.
Oh, fair enough.
But for your own imagery, yes, a scroll
Okay.
case.
I'll take it down and I'll be like... Do I recognise... Can I make a check about the bottle, the liquid?
Sure, make me an Arcana check.
About 15.
15. It gives... The fact that the salt isn't dissolved tells you that something has been done to that liquid and that it does something. Exactly what, you don't know. With that kind of role in your experience with other people, you would assume that maybe these two powders are some sort of component to a spell, and maybe someone who knows spell components might be able to figure it out.
Can you check the soot and the salt are in the vial all together?
Yep, with
It
the
is
liquid.
liquid, soot, salt.
Yeah, and if you like swirl it, they get swirled up within the liquid before settling back down on the bottom.
Like glitter.
Yes.
I'm going to go around the back and I'm going to go to Tauri. Togrim's driving. Togrim's a bit busy, but it's either Tauri or Togrim for these. Tauri, you want to have a look at these? I'm sure that you're a well-read person. You'll know what you might know. What the weird tube is in this vial.
Have a look. Yeah, sure.
I'm going to get back and get us moving again. Togrim, fire up the Dave. Ximori, get on.
Fire up the D.
I just like put all the earth back in together and press it down.
Yep.
Use one of my axes to like smooth it over so it's not just my handprint.
Roll me a survival check.
What do I need to roll for these objects?
You don't need to roll for the potion, because you immediately recognise what those two components are. They are components for the Comprehend Languages spell. This is a potion of comprehension.
14.
14. It's a decent
I
job.
would definitely know it because I know how to cast it.
Exactly, that's what I meant.
And can I have a look at the case?
You can indeed. Do you want to open it?
Can I just make sure it's not going to bite my hand off first?
Sure, roll an investigation check.
The all-important second DM question.
18.
18. It does not appear trapped, warded, or dangerous in any way. It just appears to be a pretty well-made travel scroll case.
Cool. I'll open it up and have a look.
There are 2 scrolls inside.
Can I see what they are?
Can indeed. You unroll them. Roll me Arcana checks for each one. Relatively low DC.
16 and 18.
18. You understand what both these are relatively quickly from various trainings. One is a scroll of disguise self. The other is a scroll of lesser restoration.
Oh, well, you have disguised self anyway, don't you? So,
Yeah,
so you would instantly just be like,
Yep.
oh, amateur needs a scroll.
Scroll. Can you remind scroll? That's
Lesser
one of
restoration
those.
is a second level spell, and disguise self is the first level.
Sarah and Chris just both bouncing up and down as you're writing notes.
She's not writing notes. She's doodling.
Same thing.
There are crayons. We were playing D&D yesterday with my brothers in person, and she was writing the monsters. She was tracking monster health by drawing them out and then crossing them out.
Aww.
That's brilliant.
I feel like you need to shade them next time, like Stitch style.
But you pick those up and continue your travels on for day 2. Conscious that the religious festival of Tianlong is fast approaching as you approach the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Anything anyone wishes to do as you set camp, or should we move on to day 3?
I would like to keep learning Draconic.
That's at breakfast, that's not in the
Yeah.
evening. What are you
In
doing?
the evenings for Titan Ball.
Yeah.
But I want to. Okay, well, Tauri, can we make evening? Can you give me some homework? I want to learn not only to speak Draconic, but to be able to read it.
I don't think I have anything written in Draconic.
But do you have paper?
To be fair, your writ would technically be Draconic. The
My
legal
writ would
document.
be. My writ would be you're right. Although all of my notes and stuff are actually in Dwarvish.
Ah,
I'll get the dwarf out of him.
God damn it! Spirit
dwarf
of
going
a barrel-chested,
dwarf.
red-headed dwarf just looming over Tauri.
When
Tauri
Aderyn
is just two
starts,
dwarves in a critter dress.
The castigators will never find us.
Scatter! Cool.
They'll never take us alive.
Every night.
Go, come on.
I was just to say that every night Balrick is doing his. Going off a little bit away from the group and oiling his sword and staff and bow and saying his small prayers.
oh, you know what? Can Lesley watch him oiling his sword? Not in a sexual way.
I mean, let's be honest, it's Lesley. He would take it in a sexual way.
He takes a lot of things in a sexual way.
I was
In
gonna
a sexual way.
I was also going to say, could like Ximori and Lesley like try out some Titan Ball, like two dads in a like
Oh god.
was very recently a professional, and their son trying to bond.
I have a question for the DM, purely because I've never dealt with this before, because it's the first time I'm playing Spellcaster. Can I learn spells from spell scrolls?
No,
Only with
No, you're not a wizard.
you are not a wizard.
And
They're ritual
probably-
spells because of your feet. You cannot
Yes,
speak off
yeah,
of
I
them.
knew I could do that. I was just checking, because
Yeah,
Lesser
so-
Restoration is technically a bard spell.
Yeah, you can't learn it. It means because the way I'm running spell scrolls, anyone can use a spell scroll because the official D&D rules are insane.
Stupid.
If it's on your spell list, you're basically just going to stand a better chance of casting it, essentially. Because you can use your spellcasting ability modifier rather than having to use intelligence. Cool. Well, for those learning Draconic, feel free to roll an intelligence check. I need to invent some kind of clock tracker for this, and I don't remember what you rolled first time.
Mediocre. I think she rolled like a 12 or something.
Yeah,
Let's call it 12. I'll go check anyway.
clearly strolling with the grandma.
And what did you last time?
You're a bastard. She just keeps saying bastard over and over
You're
again.
a bastard.
We are bastards. They are were.
They were bastards.
Draconic's actually got like 7 tenses. It's really annoying.
Just going through it like Latin. Just
What did you roll, by the way?
9.
9. And Ximori and Lesley, are you learning Titan Ball?
Oi.
Depends if Leslie's up for it.
This is Leslie's, like, nobody else seems that into it. This is Leslie's only shot to really, like, start bringing it to the group.
You grab some of the skin from.
We are gonna make a ball.
Yeah.
Like at the very least, we're gonna start with the ball part, and the
We'll
violence. We'll build to the violence. All the good players, the professionals will start with
ball skills.
Ball handling.
We're playing catch. That's what we're doing.
We are playing catch.
Yeah, you make you.
I assume when there's nobody else around, I'm assuming your massive claw is like just. Zoop.
You make a ball out of some skin left over from various things that Balrick has hunted to feed you. None of the special stuff, just like a deer hide or something like that.
It's got a rabbit.
Yeah.
One ear trailing off.
Serves like a contract.
Did you make Ximori
like
blow it up like a
a Nerf ball.
Ximori blew it up like a balloon through its mouth.
It's like
balloon animals from
I
Shrek.
just found a frog and just
Yeah.
wrapped it in skin.
Yeah.
Other skin.
But you have a pleasant evening around a campfire, bonding, debating party names, and not settling on anything.
Thought we were all pretty settled.
You know us so
Leslie's
well.
Bastards, but Lesley and the bastards.
And you wake up for dawn on the 3rd day. Who is rolling for day 3 of travel? This will be the last D10 roll.
Balrick, do you want to take us home?
Go on. I'll take over. I don't know if I could trust a lot of you. 7.
7. As the road takes you higher, kind of upwards towards the cliffs of the Dragon Crest coast, a clearer sky takes over today. In fact, you can see birds sweeping in the distance over the bay, occasionally coming closer to the coast, you assume to roost. Balrick, while driving, you notice one of these birds coming towards you. It's a nice distance away, probably coming into the coast. And then it's getting bigger. And bigger. And bigger. And you see a giant seagull, the size of your cart, barreling towards you. As a literally giant seagull comes swooping towards you looking for food.
I want chippies.
Oh my god, Zidorthras is Swansea.
It lands.
Singleton house holding a steak bake.
It lands in front of the cart and just like puffs up its wings, blocking the entire road.
I'm going to cast Speak with Animals and tell it, fuck off!
Give food!
Fuck off!
Food!
Fuck!
Roll intimidation.
With my -2.
I'll let you do it on strength if you want.
Our great danger this week is Balrick telling a seagull to fuck off.
16 plus... Nice. Yes, that's an 18.
What do you do other than telling it to fuck off to intimidate it?
Vaguely kicks at it.
Throw a rock at it. No, there's no rock thing. Yeah, no, yeah, I can grab a rock. I get off the cart, grab a rock, throw it at it, and go, fuck off! Shooting it.
Nasty tiny thing!
It's a giant seagull, I'm a giant person, it just looks normal. Like a goose.
Just flies off. While doing it, it does like come in for a pass to like try and whack you as it flies away. Make me a dex save.
You will drop your chips.
17.
17. It goes to like whack at you and beat you to the floor, and you just like duck out the way of it and like pull out the. Would you use the staff for this? You just grab another rock from the floor and just like lob it at the thing as it flies off and it like disappears off into the distance. Very pissed off it didn't get any food from the strangers on the road.
Fucking bastard sea creatures. Fucking hate the coasts.
Has Togrim seen any of those giant seagulls on his last visit?
Yeah, they're fairly common.
Okay.
Not in the
It's not
city.
over.
He does a good job of keeping the giant seagulls away, but they do get behind the coast.
Togrim can't tell the difference though.
Everything's a giant seagull thing.
There are no normal sized seagulls, there are just baby giant seagulls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's why there are so few gnomes at the coast. They never make it out.
These in the south. Would Aderyn or Lesley have ever seen these?
What, giant seagulls?
Yeah.
They're not that... Giant birds are fairly common. From where you're from, Lesley, not seagulls. You're far too
No,
far inland.
I'm very inland.
And Dinlon has actually done a decent job of not having many pests. It prides itself on kind of keeping them at bay.
Good on you, Dinland.
No giant rats there in the sewers.
No giant rats in Dinland.
There are no rats in Dinland.
As the day is winding down to a close and the sun is setting behind you, you spot in the distance what looks like a logger's camp. Balrick, you can kind of see that it was clearly stationed on the edge of a small woodland or large copse of trees, but they have now all been cut down. It is completely deforested region. And you see large piles of trees and lumber kind of loaded up on large carts of this loggers camp. And if anything, it seems like a decent place to stop for camp for the evening if you wanted to.
No? Yeah. I'll pause in here, guys. We'll rest up.
You pull up to find it still an occupied camp. Probably about 24 lumberjacks sorting out the last bits and pieces of the evening as they see you pull up. A green dragonborn kind of approaches you in tough clothing, kind of denim or plaid shirt, denim overalls, a chopping axe in a loop at their belt, and they raise a hand that you see on their right hand is missing 2 fingers. It's like, raise hand. Evening!
Alright, we're just looking for a place to camp if that's alright.
Ah, sure, no problems here. Feel free to take your space. We're just finishing up a job. We'll be heading home in the morning. So we apologise in advance. It's probably going to be amount of drinking and partying as we celebrate. But you're welcome to stay.
I'll make sure to keep us away from that. We'll try and avoid that then. Keep us away. Do you want to hear it from inside?
Do we hear it?
Yeah. This guy's got a fairly loud voice. You can see, Balrick, that they've got like some constructed buildings, including one like giant tent, essentially, in the centre of the camp. That you assume is just like their communal space kind of thing. It's very tense and stuff.
You mind sharing your resources with us? Would we be able to camp up with you guys? You look like you got a comfy operation there.
We've been here a few weeks now, working through the trees, so we made ourselves comfortable and a decent place to live. Got the scattered tents for the lads and nice eat-in mess hall. So,
amazing!
You're welcome to join us for the evening before you kind of camp down. I mean, yours doesn't look too bad for a travelling wagon.
Oh, we've done some work on it. But yeah, we'll help around to help you pack up a little bit if you're all right sharing.
That's appreciated. If you've got a couple of strong ones amongst you, we've got some lumber to finish loading up on the remaining carts.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I can get our lot to help.
We'll give you a couple of pints in payment. How's that, yeah?
I'd appreciate food more than pints, but I'm sure the rest of
I'm sure we can swing something.
very much more.
Lesley will have already grabbed Aderyn and started like leaving the car before like it's fully stopped. Like as Balrick is chatting to them.
As Lesley
Lesley has drinks and stats.
Just dragging Aderyn, like gesturing to oh my god, I'm so sorry. Gesturing to Tauri and looking at Ximori and Togrim like, come on.
Aderyn's gonna start crying as Lesley pulls her.
Oh. So, do you not want to drink? Is it the woods?
No, I do. I don't know how to party like a peasant.
Sarah doesn't speak often in these, but when she does.
Oh, by the way, I should say that the head of the camp introduces himself as Gipek. Gipek, EC, even.
Right, I'll get the wagon moved around.
I'll go help moving logs first.
It's sweaty work.
With the drink.
Yes, okay, you two head into the large tent where a few of the men that have been given this duty, they're not all men, to be clear, there's also women, I'm just generalising, but they're varying races, mostly kind of human and dragonborn. There's a couple of dwarves are basically setting up. There's a few kegs that you assume have been saved for like the last night of the job, and a spread of kind of just dried meats and varying other things that they've kind of collected. They're just setting it up ready for the evening. Plenty of tankards, plenty of tables, enough for about 24 people.
Nice.
A human turns around to you. He goes, "Oh, who are you then?"
Peasant.
A fabulous.
Sure. What are you doing in the tent? Is what I'm more meant.
Oh
Are you okay?
no.
We're here to join your party, and Lesley will bring out the like horrible paint stripper whiskey we managed to. One of the bottles of whiskey.
I'm not one to turn down a drink when we're celebrating, so sure. Do you need a drink?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm really good at drinking. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but I'm so good at it.
He goes and grabs 4 glasses for himself, the white dragonborn that's helping in here. He introduces, puts them down, grabs that whiskey bottle and pours out 4 shots. I'm Travis, by the way. That's Shu. I'm assuming Gipek didn't let you in here then. Look, we ain't gonna turn up. Good time's a good time. Work's done.
That's what I say.
Let's have a good evening. If you're willing to help finish setup, but I suppose can't hurt having something to take the edge off. And he picks up one of the glasses to cheers.
Lesley is gonna look around to see where Tauri and Togrim are at. Did they follow? Are they?
I think I'd still be sat on the carts, or unloading, making a little campfire for ourselves, because I can't be doing any heavy lifting.
Yeah, Togrim's going to help set up a camp.
Wow. Tauri?
Tauri would go and find out if they need help with cooking food.
Yeah. You find that they've got a couple of spit roasts of 2 boars that seemingly they found, hunted, acquired, ongoing. They're just setting up the fires for that at the minute, so you can help out with that. That's perfectly fine. word of mouth has gotten around camp at this point that there's some helpful strangers coming to just camp, and maybe they'll join in. Togrim, you're setting up camp. Ximori and Balrick are helping load everything. And eventually, the four of you who are setting up the drinking tables, Salu with the terrible whiskey, all immediately start coughing and spluttering, and finish setting up. As the evening wears down, night settles in, and the partying begins.
It's a potential chance to get a 3-on-3 Titan ball game going.
Oh!
That can totally happen. As I would say, the partying begins, and it is not long before these hardworking lumberjacks are pretty drunk. They've clearly not been drinking much while working, because dangerous job, don't drink and be near lumberyards. But now the job is done, the wood is away, the tools are packed away safely. It is time to celebrate, and they are clearly celebrating because they are going to make a massive haul, bringing this lumber in a few days before the entire shipyard's shut down, which means people are trying to finish repairs, and so they need wood. They know they're going to make a killing.
It's coming up to that time of year.
The night continues on unabated. Lesley flirts with about half of the lumberjacks.
It's a low number.
Low number.
Roll percentile die.
Yeah, go on then. Give me a percentage of the lumberjacks. And then roll me a d20.
Oh no.
How many are successful?
Depends how many you actually get with.
Oh, 23%.
Okay, so less than half.
And the d20, do I get anything with the d20?
Roll your persuasion.
Persuasion, okay. That is... 17.
17. You have your pick of the lumberyards. Entirely who you want to take with you to bed.
Lesley is going to ask about the sleeping arrangements at the... No, Lesley's not. Lesley's going to go towards Balrick to ask about the sleeping arrangements. And I'm assuming that Balrick is going to give a very stern, yeah, that look. And Lesley's just going to... It's fine.
No, the tent for us.
Huh?
I've set up our tent and stuff. Me and Togrim have set the camp up.
Tent singular?
Well, you know, we do the overhang thing, and
Oh, okay.
you can...
They're just gonna shh. The person that was like next to them.
If
Who
the
is this
wagon
person next to them?
don't come a knocking.
Oh, 1 second. My die is in the drawer. Please don't be a no.
No, bride. I know it's technically only one die, but my brain is just seeing that as a full selection of die for picking romantic partners.
It is actually. I will tell you a number of things.
That is why I bought them.
This is the best thing that's ever been given to me. Thank you very much, Kevin. Okay. It's a human, kind of boring. But they're wearing leather.
What's half the party?
And they...
Human and leather narrows it down to Tauri.
You know what? I've got several die for alcohols, but I think this is funnier. Their name's Brandy.
They were named Brandy for the colour of their hair when they were born, which is kind of a chestnut honey colour, depending on the light. They have since grown a beard and a wonderful display of chest hair. And let's just say the lumberjacking life is a good workout for building hugging muscles, shall we say.
Yeah, let's say that.
For TikTok purposes, hugging muscles.
You two head up to one of the tents.
I think Balrick looks from you to him to you to him and goes, "You're not staying in the tent, though."
Brandy turns to you and goes, "Don't worry, we've got a place." And just grabs Lesley by the shoulder and just walks off out of the tent as the partying continues.
Lesley's looking quick.
Don't do anything I want to do, guys.
Leslie is king of the bottoms.
Guys will say they know a place and lead you into
Oh my
the
god,
woods.
Lesley gives me Angel Dust 5.
You eventually leave the loggers to their due. Some of you staying longer than others, some of you wanting distance from the alcoholic party and just wanting to settle down and keep things on. Togrim.
Am I going crazy with this song in my head?
You are. This song continues to play in your head all evening, and you find yourself essentially up when no one else is. The party has kind of died down at this point. You notice that not many people left the tent. Your assumption is most people passed out in the big tent at one point. Your party have all come back to their various places, to your camp, except for Lesley, which isn't a surprise. And you're kind of tending the fire as this song plays in your head, and you suddenly seem to... The words come to you as you're whistling the tune of builders build their buildings tall, and fires burn until they fall. From ashes left upon the road, set the sparks that grow the woad. You just begin muttering that to yourself as a sudden gust of wind from the cut-down woodland north of you hits your campfire and it gutters and dies. So you get up to go grab some kindling and restart it. You kind of still want to keep warm in the wind. Wandering through the camp, you pick up pieces here and there discarded from the various logging activities, and you make your way back humming the same tune that's been in your brain for the last few days. You set up a windbreaker to make sure that the wood doesn't go out this time. Strike your flint and the wood catches. Damn, does it catch instantly? You didn't used to be this good at making fires, as an intense rush of warmth floods your face as the flames leap to life. Rather aggressively. Doesn't usually be that aggressive. There's a loud crack and a whoosh of hot air which drowns out the song in your ears, and you suddenly blink back to awareness as you find the main hut of the loggers' camp catching ablaze, fires running up the sides and catching onto the thatch and cloth roof. You are suddenly aware that everyone is inside and the camp is now on fire. And that is where we're going to pick up next time. So we zoom out as the camp begins to catch fire, sparks leaping from the main tent to smaller tents. Only Togrim awake right now, flint and steel in hand, staring at what they have wrought. But we'll find out what happens in the next chapter. We'll pick up our story then. Until then, see you later.